Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. And I have been wanting to do a video like this since for actual ever, but then I put myself on a book buying ban, and I personally feel like a big part of these types of videos are always book buying. But I'm officially off my book buying ban, and at first I wasn't gonna do a video like this because I had a trip planned and I was gonna buy a bunch of books on said trip. I was going to Dublin. I was very excited about it if you look back a few videos. But then if you saw my travel vlog, I'm not sure how I've edited it yet because I haven't done that yet, but if I keep all the clips in, I did talk in that one about canceling really quickly. The closer I got to the trip, the more nervous I got. This was supposed to be my first ever solo trip, and I do have autism with a very anxious personality, and the closer we got, the more the negative overtook the positives, to the point where one night I woke up and I was just like trying to sleep, and all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, the trip to Dublin, and my stomach started hurting, which had been happening more and more. But like, this was bad. This was like my stomach was hurting. I was starting to shake. I felt terrible, and I was like, wait, when is the last time I thought about this trip and was like, yeah, I'm so excited? Except for thinking about it and going, oh no, what if? And so I woke up and woke my mom up because we were sleeping next to each other, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do, because I was in the kind of state where I'm like, do I push through the uncomfortableness and do it anyway, or is this so bad that I should listen to my body? Because I have done other things before that I've been anxious about, like the first time I went to the movie theaters alone, first time I went to sit at a cafe alone, or like anything like that. I had been anxious, but then pushed through that and really enjoyed it. But I ended up deciding that this was just too bad and I had to listen to my body. So I listened to my body. I canceled the trip. I did say in that vlog that I was going to talk more in depth about it, but I don't think it needs to be that much more in depth. I am proud of this because I listened to my own body, and I, sorry to say, haven't regretted it once. Does this mean there's some stuff on like my bingo card for the year or my to-do list for the summer I won't get to do? 100%, but I've kind of already given up on that summer bucket list because it didn't go well, okay? It just didn't. So there's actually not that much more to it, but all of that is important because then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some money back. I already had some money set aside that I wanted to spend on this trip, specifically for obviously like food and experiences, but mostly books. I wanted to buy books. And so I reached out to one of my best friends and I was like, hey, would you want to do like a huge bookshop with me? Obviously, I'm not asking if she wants to buy a huge stack of books because I'm not like wanting everybody to just spend a bunch of money. I'm planning on going big or going home. Actually, I'm planning on going big and then taking the big stuff home. So in this video, we're gonna be sort of spending a week together, but mostly just we're gonna be doing book stuff. Alright, so I'm not gonna give an in-depth bookshelf tour. I might do that in my fall decorating video that's coming up, because then they're gonna be all decorated. The only thing I changed after showing them yesterday is this, because it didn't have enough room if I didn't stack Throne of Glass. And then turned around these, and then there's finally room for all of Crescent City, plus more. Plus, you know, we're having another one of those out soon. But I am spending today in bed reading Kingdom of Ash. Actually, I spent the day finishing the last cleaning touches that I started yesterday, showered, and now I'm gonna be reading for the rest of the day. But I'll see you all tomorrow when we go book shopping. It has been a few days since I went book shopping. I did film a haul that day. I was in an awful mood. It was hot, everything was bothering me, and I filmed 2 different clips in 2 different places because I gave up. I got annoyed, turned off the phone, and I was like, no, finish it. But now, after I filmed it, I was like, you can't actually use this because you're crappy. So, first of all, I just got my hair cut today, so this video will be the first one you see it in. But I thought we could do the haul. The shopping experience in itself was a little bit unsuccessful. In the book haul here, I have 2 books that I bought on my vacation that I vlogged. That vlog is up already. And then I got 2 books only when we went book shopping, even though I was so prepared to do a big book shop. But I couldn't find any of the books I wanted, not in the shapes I wanted. So I only got 2 there. And then we have 1 that I ordered used online. And then I went home and shopped online. So I will be getting out my computer after we've gone through these other books to also give you a haul of that. Let's start with the 2 books that I bought on vacation. The first one I showed in that video, but I didn't really talk about it. I bought The Troop by Nick Cutter, which is a horror book. Stephen King has a blurb in front of it, and one of the things I had on my list of more books to buy was just horror. So I saw this and I had already looked at it before, and it was on sale because it is a little bit, like, not destroyed, like, but it's damaged. It's damaged. This is giving Lord of the Flies, which I haven't seen or read Lord of the Flies, but it says it on the back, and I know what Lord of the Flies is about. It's a group of people. It's the Scouts of Troop 52. Don't know what that means. Goes onto this abandoned island that we see here on the cover, and then they meet this random guy who is really weird. He's sick, and then the whole trip just takes this sort of like terrifying turn. I've just heard really great things about this. I've heard it is very much body horror, so if you have a hard time with gore, don't read this, but you guys know I don't mind gore. I kind of love gore, and I don't think this is gonna freak me out. I mean, I read The Cotton Candy Massacre. Want to talk about body horror and gore? Read that and then come talk to me about it. But I'm very excited about this one. I kind of love this cover. It's kind of giving something you'd pick up at a grocery store. Like, the grocery store always has this very small section of books, and they're always like Sarah Morgan, Ellen Hildebrand, or this type of book covers. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it gives, but I kind of love it, and I am probably going to be trying to read this very soon. The letters are huge. How did I not notice that? It's very hard to see on camera, but trust me, this is huge lettering. Wow. Anyway, second book I picked up, and I can already say this now. I picked this up because of the cover, sprayed edges, and that's it. Because am I sure I'm gonna love this? Not at all. Actually, it's kind of the type of book I've really not been gravitating towards lately, but look at this. Fall at Once by Nora Everly, which you have probably heard about Fall I Want by Lyra Parrish, because it was very talked about last fall, but this is a full-on like series that all takes place in the town of Cozy Creek. So it's like a cozy fall themed romance, which I don't hate fall themed romance. I don't think this is because of that. I just think this is going to be really, really spice heavy, and we all know, not really my forte anymore, but you never know. Maybe I'll love it. But also, look at this spread edge. There's a kitty, and there are pumpkins, and there are orange leaves that like goes all the way up. Oh my god, I've never noticed this before. There is a cat on the bottom too. So like, even if I hate this book, it will become just like a fall decoration, and I will just have the sprayed edges out there. But I have put it on my fall TBR, which we will be going over soon in another video. So I'm very excited to give this one a chance. That then brings us to the 2 books I bought when we went book shopping. Now, these 2 were, like I said, on my list of books to buy after my book buying ban. So I am very happy. Oh, I need to go into my wish list and delete at least one of these, which is It by Stephen King. Brig of a book. It's kind of fun because, like I said, 75% through Kingdom of Ash. And like next to these, I kind of think Kingdom of Ash looks thicker, but it has more pages. It has 1,000 pages. This one only has 980 pages. So far, this is the longest book I have ever read. Yeah. Is it stupid of me to buy this after I'm kind of out of the summer ween mood and into the fall mood? Maybe. But I'm not gonna like hold myself to like push this until next summer. I just wanted to see. It's definitely like a little bit thicker, but I also think the paper in this is thicker than it is in this. But It by Stephen King, which if you guys don't know It by Stephen King, what are you doing? Even if you're not a horror fan, you should have heard of It by Stephen King before. Basically, there's this clown. Never know how to like explain it to people. Every 27 years, this clown, which is technically not a clown, it's this like energy, but it turns into what people fear the most, but what he uses often as the way he looks is the Pennywise clown. I absolutely love these movies. Anyway, in the small town of Derry, Maine, this clown terrorizes kids and makes the adults terrible too. It's really twisted, but we follow a specific group of kids. One of the main characters' little brother has gone missing / been taken by the clown. Now this group of friends is trying to figure out where the little brother is, but they're also being followed by this dark entity. And then at the same time, we follow these children 27 years later when they are then called back to town because this thing has awoken again. Yeah, I think that's a fine way to explain it. Otherwise, go watch the movies. I have seen the movies multiple times. I've seen the original movie once, but I've seen the newer movies a lot of times. A lot of times. We literally just rewatched the first one in my last summer ween vlog, so you guys know. You know. And I am so excited. Is this terrifying? Yeah. I can actually open this book quite a lot without breaking the spine. That's good. So, the last book I bought, this one was actually kind of like a last minute addition to my list. But all of a sudden it was mentioned to me again and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I need that. And this is actually also a romance, but it is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, which, if you guys know Mariana Zapata, Queen of Slow Burn, I have read 2 books by her. I liked both of them. One of them I loved. I don't remember which one. He was a football player, I think. He was some kind of like sporty player, very big guy. But not important. I liked both of her other books, loved one, enjoyed the other one, and I think she's the queen of grumpy mailman characters, slow burn, that makes you literally get flutters in your stomach the first time their literal fingers like touch like that. You're like, oh, because you will make it to here. Okay, that's the end of the book, so hopefully not. You will make it to here before the first kiss even happens. And I think I just reminded myself that I needed that. And this is one of the ones that I've heard the most people talking about. You know, the people who love her, most of them, I think this is their favorite book by her, from what I have like heard. So, very excited. This is her landlord, Aurora de la Torre. Someone's gonna butcher me for that pronunciation. Anyway, she moves to this small town to start over and thinks her like landlord who lives across from her is really hot. And I like the sound of that a lot. Heather McLary recently talked about this again as like an outdoorsy type book you could read. So, very much excited about this one too. Now, the used one I ordered online, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. This is the second book in the Twilight series. I have watched the movies many times. Recently just rewatched the first one. I have read the first book a couple of years ago. I own a like 20-year edition, special edition of Twilight, but that is it. And I was finally like, you know what, I think it's time to soon continue on with the series. So I found this one very cheap used online. It is in way worse condition than I thought. Otherwise, I would have bought it for new. I was actually going to buy a new version at the bookstore, but then they didn't have New Moon. They had Midnight Sun and Breaking Dawn. They had Breaking Dawn and Midnight Sun. So I was like, okay, I'm not buying those. So I do think I'm gonna keep this. I need to try and do something because it stinks. Not like bad actually, yeah. It stinks like it's been left in like a soggy box for a while. It also has a little bit of yellow coloring to the pages. The back is broken because like it says on the website that it was like new with like very few signs of usage, and I don't think that's what I would call this. So I did actually get my money back, so I shouldn't even be complaining. I got my money back. I need to do something at the very least about the smell, because I don't think I will be able to read this. I mean, I could read it. I just can't do, you know, like this while smelling anywhere near it. But I think there are probably some hacks I can do to like try and get rid of the smell if it is from like moisture and stuff. But that brings us to our online orders, which I am very excited about. I just got a message that they split up another one of the orders. So there are 3 different orders, one of which is already on the way. And that's because I ordered 2 books that are already out, and every other book I ordered was pre-ordered. So the ones I ordered that are already out is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I have no idea what this is about. I know it's vampires, and as you could probably sense by New Moon, I am gonna do a vampire sort of thing in October. So hopefully, even though this is really long, I don't know why I didn't know how long it was, but the plan in October would be to try and do a video where I read both New Moon and Salem's Lot and maybe one more book. We'll see. Maybe I'll save Salem's Lot for last, and that way it can be like a last minute book I pick up. But other than that, I got a House of Flame and Shadow, which is the 3rd book in the Crescent City series. Here's the thing. I still don't have the first one. I have the second one on my shelf. I now have the 3rd one coming. This website, and any website I've checked, did not have the first one in the size that I already have the second one in. If you don't know, I got the second one as a birthday gift. I was going to exchange it, but then I decided to keep it because I knew I wanted the series eventually. But now it's kind of come back to bite me in the ass because I can't find the first one in the right size. Does this really annoy me? Yeah, it really does, because what am I technically going to do with the second and the third? But I ordered the 3rd one anyway, so it's going to be here, and it's going to be in the cover. Yeah, in the cover that matches the one I already have. But apparently the first one is nowhere to be found. Yeah. So the 2 that are going to be here around the 8th of September, that's at least when they're releasing. They might be here a little bit later because they need to be like released and then get shipped to Denmark, I think. But these are 2 fall romances too. I ordered Meet Cute Magic by Morgan Elizabeth. This is something about like a spell that has gone wrong, and then she is a sunshine witch and she needs help from the guy who owns the store across from her. But he's like a grumpy gamer and he knows nothing. He doesn't even know magic exists. But helping her somehow ends up helping his grandpa. So that's why he's like agreeing to help. I don't know. I have really loved Morgan Elizabeth's books earlier. If you're not new here, absolutely had an obsession with them. And then I think I read her very latest Christmas book and didn't love it. And then I DNF'd The Ick Factor and I was like, oh god, no, have I fallen out of love with her? But I think I just read them. No, not the Christmas book, but I think I at least read The Ick Factor at a wrong moment in my life. And this one, the cover is just so cute, and I felt like I needed it. The second one is Love Felt Like This by Julia Olivia, which is the same author who wrote If It Makes You Happy, my favorite romance book. Not of all time, but my second favorite romance book of all time, actually. I read this last fall, and I was obsessed with it, and the cover is so cute, and this cover for Love Felt Like This is so cute. They're musicians in the 80s or 90s in a small town. He might be a single dad too, honestly. He's a grumpy rock star, and she's a joyful children's show creator. Yeah, I'm obsessed. And again, the cover, I'm pretty sure the same artist did the cover art for this that did it for If It Makes You Happy. And I could not stop talking about the cover of If It Makes You Happy last year, so I, again, needed this. And then that finally gets us to the last book. The last book doesn't come out until the 28th of September, and it is in fact Threshing Day by Rebecca Yarros. It is a short story collection for the Empyrean series, and would I rather get the next book? Sure, but am I happy with literally anything getting me back into that universe? Hell yeah. It is the limited deluxe edition, which it's just a hardback with some artwork in it, I think, and then it has sprayed silver edges. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and it's gonna look so great on my shelf next to the other Empyrean books. So I'm so excited, but that's why it has been split up, is because this one doesn't come out until way later in the month, and obviously if they can send the other ones first, they will. But that was in fact every single book I have bought over the last little bit. I am going back on a book buying ban. Maybe for a really long time, because the books I have here are at least gonna hold me over fall. And then maybe for Christmas, we'll do a little book shopping just to buy some Christmas specific books. But maybe not. You know, it'll depend on which mood I'm in when Christmas actually comes. But at the very least, I'm probably, no matter what, gonna go on a book buying ban for a little bit now. And then at the very least, I will probably be going on a book buying ban the start of next year, because then it has been Christmas, and then I've gotten a bunch of Christmas gifts that are probably also going to be books. And I've made it pretty clear that I want to try to keep my physical TBR down. I have gotten it down, and now I need to keep it that way. I need to not buy books that I don't actually think I will read and like. And I am going to keep being good at DNFing books, and I'm going to keep being good at getting rid of books if I don't think I will ever read them. And yeah, that was mostly what I was going to say with that, honestly. To be fair, I haven't even been that much in a book buying mood. I know we just bought a bunch of books, but I feel like that kind of was it for what I've been feeling like. Even when I was on a book buying ban, I've actually haven't had that much of a hard time this year with not buying books until now. I don't know what's happened to me, but with that said, that is all for today's video. So thank you so much for spending a week with me doing some bookish things. I'm very happy with everything. To see what the bookshelves end up like after I actually decorate, subscribe and stick around for my fall preparating video. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and like I just said, subscribe. And turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.